Day to me. Today's my birthday, so I don't know if this actually get up today on May the 14th.
Probably 2 days
as my internet is trash on my phone, and I live in the woods, so it takes 8 days to upload. But nonetheless, happy birthday to me, and I'm glad my good friend the Madman brought me a bag full of figures he's going to donate to my birthday today. Whether he wants to or not, I'm just going to run out of the car and take them and say thank you for the birthday present. But if I'm not here next week, you know what happened. I stole some figures and Madman killed me.
Yes.
So Madman, watching your wrestling?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of some Ring of Honor and MLW this week.
All right, lay it on me. I watched MLW as well. I attempted to watch Ring of Honor, but thank you for living in the woods to myself. As fight, I get 1 or 2 minutes of action along with 18 minutes of buffering. So I watched the opening of Ring of Honor, and then 30 minutes later I didn't see anything else, so I just turned it off.
All I saw was 2 matches. It was Life's Blood versus oh God, who was it?
No clue.
Vinny Marsana,
So the Kingdom.
Yeah, the Kingdom.
Lifeblood versus the Kingdom.
And that match was really good.
Okay. What else?
And the other one was some new girl versus their champion.
Yeah, the new girl happened to be Stacy Shadows.
Possibly.
I think that's it. I think I saw a like the match advertised or whatever.
It was fair.
Yeah.
And great. It seems like Ring of Honor is giving a lot of women chances, and some of the matches are really good, and some of them are just, you know, they're there.
Well, the cool thing about having, you know, a weekly television product is you got to have content.
Yeah, Kelly Klein, I couldn't think of her damn name.
So,
but to me, like, the biggest mistake to me is like they're trying to make Kelly a face, and she is not a very good face.
No, I'd say, I mean, to me, she's always been that bad guy.
So. It just doesn't work. Like, she's so much bigger than everybody else. Like, you're hard to be taken seriously as a face, and it just doesn't work.
Right. There's a reason John Gonzalez was a bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't think Big Show ever really worked as a good guy. Because he
well, it's
who's gonna beat him down?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you, as a good guy, you have to show vulnerability so people get behind you and cheer you. And if you can't get beat down, then what's the point? You know?
You remember, even when like Andre was a face, it was always like 2-3 people be beating hell up. When Ken Patera cut his hair that time, what was it? 2 or 3 of them were beating the crap out of him.
I think so. I've only seen clips of that. I'm not as old as the Madman.
Well, I mean, that's all I've ever seen was like VHS clips, but it was just. I remember it being multiple people, but Ken Pantera at the time was also supposed to be the strongest man in the world. Remember, he got all in the strongman contest.
Yep.
So,
was that didn't Ken Patera do some time in prison?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Or that was before or after that?
Probably after, but I really don't know.
All right, so I watched MLW. Overall, do you give MLW this week a thumbs up, a thumbs in the middle, or a thumbs down? Because I'm right here, thumbs down.
The middle match really killed it for me. Barrington Hughes, that garbage.
Oh, the match where the
horrible.
Unstoppable Monster met the new Unstoppable Monster, and it only took a half-assed whisper in a win.
That killed it for me, man.
Moral really of the match is if you knock Barrington off his feet, he will never get back up.
That match was just... I mean, I wasn't expecting a lot, don't get me wrong. I've seen Barrington work. He's not that great a worker.
But you was expecting more than 37-second squash match?
It was just...
I mean, it was literally what? Punch, duck, whisper and a win.
He super kicked and then he gave him the whisper and a win.
Yeah,
and
a super kick that was sold like this. Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. And then he eventually bumped. And, yeah,
I mean, I don't know what I expected. I mean, I have not watched a lot of Barrington Hughes matches, and I don't want this to be a crap on Barrington match.
I'm sorry, bro. It is what it is. We go watch the match.
But that match was horrible.
And that match killed the show for me because I actually liked the Airwolf versus Phoenix match.
It was fine.
Really good.
I mean,
and then putting over Airwolf, that blew my mind, honestly.
Yep. I thought they did a really good
job.
I love
he got up, he's just like, I love that because he put the guy over. He really did.
Right.
I mean, the pin was really cool. It was a cool pin.
Yeah. It was like a muscle buster turned into like a victory roll type
It was weird,
thing.
man.
So
I wouldn't even know what to call that one. I wasn't even gonna try.
I think it was just like grasping for anything. I think that's what I would call it.
And then there was the midget match. Well,
Yeah,
wasn't- but
Ariel
midget,
Dominguez.
That match was horrible.
It was bad.
Like there was a good match, then two bad ones, and then the last one was decent. It wasn't great,
And
but it was decent.
And to me, the last one saved it. Like,
Yeah.
I would say, like, and had Airwolf lost, that match would have been horrible. Not hard. Would have been horrible. It would have been. I've seen this a million times. Give me something else.
But if you listen to the commentary, they were putting over like how the like
commentary was phenomenal.
It's like they're making this guy. We thought he got destroyed in 5 minutes,
Right.
you know, and he kept going and going and going and going.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Shit,
overall, I mean, I give that match a solid 5.
See, that's what I remember about Jim Cornette. Like he was talking about on one of his podcasts I listened to, and I forgot it was him, but I go back and watch the match now, and I know it is. But back when Foley was basically a jobber tagging with the tag guys.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole match would be them putting over Foley.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, hell, it was Jim. And then I remember he did the same thing with Airwolf the other night. So.
And it was good. I mean, I'm not gonna say it foretold the finish because I don't think it did.
It didn't. It really
just
didn't.
showed the importance of the attraction versus the new guy.
Yeah, like how the hell is this guy still here?
Right. You know, they put over the fact that Phoenix, he has everything to lose. You know what I mean? Like. Okay, if you win, then you did what you were supposed to do. Like, we didn't book you against this guy to lose.
I wouldn't have called him one.
Right, I wouldn't either. And that's the reason I give the match a 5. Like, had it not been for the finish, I think it would just been the same match you've seen a dozen times. Okay, let's go out and do some flashy stuff and hope something happens. And like I say, I agree with you. The build they put on the Barrington Hughes Joseph I2.
That was horrible.
Well, to me, what little bit of build there was there, okay, you had me sold on the idea that this was going to be a big victory.
That was going to be a good match, but I just didn't.
It was. I give it a 1, and just because I don't want to give it a 0 because, that's too low.
I mean, they got out there and tried. I mean, I give them that.
Yeah.
But.
Ariel Dominguez and Brian Logan. I like Ariel Dominguez, but the Brian Logan guy, I think he's a great indie worker. I don't think he's that guy on TV. They're just, that's not an insult. It's just like there was really nothing special. You know what I mean? He was just another guy of average build, of average height, and average gear. You know what I mean? The guy's probably tops at his home promotion. He probably should be.
Yeah. But there he wasn't.
But there he wasn't, and it just felt a little out of place.
And the finish of that match was just so weird.
I liked it that the fact that he didn't give up and he finally got it. But when you're, 88 pounds, I mean, you shouldn't hold me down.
No.
Not hold me down.
I'm saying he wasn't much hornswoggle.
Yeah, I mean, could you hit me with something that may cause me to be out for a few seconds? Sure. Could you forcibly hold me down? Nope. And I'm not a big guy.
No.
And I don't think Ariel Dominguez could have held me down.
No.
Because he was really just grasping for weight.
Like I said, those two matches killed it for me, and then the main event and the first match was fine.
Right. The main event I thought was really good. It was.
I knew who was going to win.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the match.
I thought they did a good job making Gringo Loco feel like he needed to be there. Alexander Hammerstone, he came out on top of that match, so he moves into one part of the finals of the National Openweight Championship.
Yep. Okay, next week it's supposed to be Brian Pillman versus
Rich Swann.
Who the hell do you think?
Rich Swann. And this is why. This is what I think is going to happen.
I hope it isn't predictable.
This is what I'm going to call it right now. Hammerstone won. Rich Swann is going to beat Pillman. And then for the finals, you're going to see Rich Swann come out as a champion because the Dynasty and the Hart Foundation is going to get all caught up, get the ref distracted. In slides Myron Reed, does something behind the referee's back. Finally, the referee didn't screw Rich Swann. Hammerstone and Pillman, Dynasty, all those people can go off over here and continue fighting. And now you've got this title furthering this other storyline.
I hope so.
That's what I'm calling.
I
could be absolutely wrong, but if I'm not, remember I called it today.
But it just looks like predictable booking. It really does.
I mean, on paper, you're thinking Pillman,
Yes.
Hammerstone, and Pillman's going to get the title. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Actually, I think Hammerstone would get the title.
Yeah. That was my first thought, and then I put a little more thought into it, and I came
Well,
up with the Rich
they're
Swann
keep
idea.
calling him the future, and they're pushing him more than they are Pillman in all honesty.
Yeah, well, the reason I say that my plan B would be Pillman, Hammerstone getting the belt would be based on the fact that if you give all the belts to the Hart Foundation, there's nothing left for them to want. You know what I mean? You've done beat them enough. So the only thing they can say is you didn't get this title.
That's right.
But neither group is good guys, and to me, bad guy versus bad guy just doesn't work. I mean, you got like, hey, we're the thugs over here, but yeah, we're the spoiled brats. So which one do you cheer for? Well, I don't care for either group. The only shining star in the whole thing is Hammerstone to me.
Yeah, I like Hammerstone.
I think the Holiday guy just got stuck in that position because look, you fit the bill.
You look like a snob, and you can go with it. Yeah.
And you make a great yes guy. But overall, it's not a good episode of MLW.
No.
I mean, watch it. You know, the first match was decent.
It furthered
To me, the main event was really good. I'd probably give it about a 6 or 7. Commentary over the whole event, I'd probably give a 7 or 8
I think
because
it saved the show.
if you took that commentary away, this show was horrible. Like, it was horrible. But overall, it's MLW, so we're fans of it. You know, I'm hoping next week makes
I'll
more
watch
sense.
it again next week. I mean, they furthered storylines, what you're supposed to do.
I went down the wormhole of just random wrestling videos and things like that, like Wrestling with Regret and Cultaholic and What Culture. And,
Oh God, I did watch something. I forgot.
those type of things. And I fell into a What Culture video from Jim Sterling, and I had forgot that this was out there. But it was Jim Sterling giving kind of feedback on All In.
Oh, okay.
And he made great points about the Joey Ryan situation with his Druids.
Oh Lord.
I'm one of those people that Jim's talking about. Some of you are not fans of it. I am not a fan of it.
Right.
Jim putting his spin on it made me more of a fan of it because he's one of the points he made was like, why do you need wrestling when you have UFC? And his answer is because one, I don't like real violence. But 2, in wrestling, there is a place for Joey Ryan's Druids. And I was like, you know what? He does make sense. Because he compared it to The Undertaker, and he's like, if you take away the fact that The Undertaker was so committed to The Undertaker character, as Joey Ryan is to building that character, in reality, The Undertaker is only a zombie cowboy who can summon lightning. And I'm like, you know what? That's a great line, and that's a great way to think about it. So, the Druids and the Joey Ryan character, I'm more of a fan of now, based on the fact that, yeah, he is committed to the character. Like it or hate it, he's committed.
I agree with you on that.
I'm a Joey Ryan fan. I'm not a huge fan of this version of Joey Ryan.
No, I liked him when he was in...
Like the sleaze stuff worked.
Yeah,
I think this is just a little too much. It's going,
I didn't want him to be grabbing on anybody's groin.
Right. I mean, I do think there's a certain place and time for those type of things. To me and my 6-year-old watching it isn't that place.
I did like when Jerry the King Law threw fire on the crotch.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Cool. Time and place for everything. And, but another thing is there's a lot of stuff happening in the Attitude Area I wouldn't let my kids watch either. So...
Yeah. Choppy pee-pee.
Yeah, I mean, for every bad thing we can think of now, we can find something that was the predecessor to it.
Technically, Val Venus was the first Joey Ryan.
But I think everybody should check out that. Just type in Cultaholic Jim Sterling, it'll come up, and I think everybody should owe it at least a watch because I do agree with points that he made. However, I don't agree with what he was making the points about.
I guess.
So I watched that. I watched a mini wrestling bio about Bam Bam Bigelow, which was pretty cool. There's a channel just called Wrestling Bios, and they do some really good stuff. So I watched that, and I
forgot what I watched yesterday. Dark Side of the Ring, the Von Erich story.
Yes.
Oh my God! I'm like, I thought it was so depressing, dude.
like, I liked it because there was a little bit of new stuff, but
I
overall,
know, but oh my god,
how many times can you hear that story?
But it was so sad.
It
Dude.
was.
It was so freaking sad. I thought they were going to at least concentrate a little bit on his sons.
Yeah.
And they did just, I
Right.
mean, a tiny hair.
Why you bring that
They
up?
joined MLW.
I think they're going to be the friends that are coming for Filthy Tom Lawler.
No, I said, me and Daryl talking about that
Did
yesterday.
you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah. So, but go ahead. It was very sad.
Yeah,
Agreed.
God, it was so sad.
I mean, it was cool showing
it-
how they looked up to their dad. Being this Tarzan guy that he is, and
now,
I like that.
What's the one that's still alive's name? I swear.
Kevin.
Kevin. He was always my favorite to watch.
Right.
Honest to God. He always reminded me of Tarzan in the ring because he wrestled barefooted.
Yeah. I never saw a lot of David. I think when I discovered, or a little bit I found.
I found DVDs and a few VHS.
Right. I didn't have a lot of David Von Erich. It was Kevin and Kerry.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little, but not a whole bunch.
It's hard to find.
Right.
Stuff.
But yeah, I'm with you. I was a Kevin fan because he wrestled
Yeah.
barefoot. It was different.
It looked like they're killing him.
Yeah.
And
But-
from everything I've ever heard, they were kind of snug.
The coolest thing to me that I think maybe it was a tidbit of information that maybe a lot of people overlooked was I didn't realize that the Von Erichs lived in a camper.
Yeah, because they traveled so much.
Yeah,
And I knew that 'cause they
made
talked
perfect
about it.
sense.
And,
Like they had all this land, but it was just like we just need a place to sleep.
Well, you remember a few years ago there was 2 documentaries put out, and one was like from like the old company side.
Yeah.
And then there was one like WWE put
Yeah.
out, which wasn't that good. But the other one was real good, and they talked about it. In
Oh, did
that.
they?
Yeah.
So overall, yeah, I'm with you. Dark Side of the Ring has
Oh my God, it was
really
sad, though,
showcased
dude.
it. How tragic it was, and I'm not trying to make light on it.
No, but God, it was just so sad.
And it is a sad situation, but to me, like, it just needed a little bit of more of a, like, let's catch you up to date. And,
Yeah,
like,
'cause-
even though all this bad has happened, here's some positive.
I like the part where he said his father's pointing a gun at him, and he said, "You're too much of a coward to kill yourself." Now,
Yeah.
at this point, his father had brain cancer,
Right.
And he goes, "No, Dad, it takes more
Right.
courage to live than to die."
Right.
And I agree, and that's what I say every time I hear somebody doing that to themselves.
So, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. But overall, it was a solid
Yeah, man.
thing.
Good God, I was gonna watch another. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'll be crying all night. This is crazy.
I thought it was cool that during that I saw the advertisement for the next one, which was based on wrestlers. And for a good 4 or 5 seconds, you see former Ego wrestler Fred Yehi.
Really?
Yep. And he's in the ring. He's got like the Catch Wrestling Evolve shirt stuff on, I believe. And you go back and you can see Fred in the Great Southern 8, the second year. You can see him in a couple matches. So Fred's been Ego a lot. So it's super cool to see
That's
Fred
cool.
Yehi is going to be on there. So I'm looking forward to that. So way to go, Fred.
Please don't be super sad
Yeah.
like that one.
Way to go. I'll tell you another guy, a former guy that we hadn't seen in a long time. Zombie Dragon is killing it.
Yeah,
Killing it.
I keep up with him on Facebook.
Just, he's wrestled a bunch in Nepal now and then wrestled in China, and he's wrestled all over, but like the prime minister somewhere just met him and
Nepal.
gave him a certificate, and then they get off the plane, there's all these reporters, and not like some friends I got to stand over there and claim to be reporters with their phone, but no, like 50 people with cameras and
Yes.
microphones.
No.
Super cool that Zombie Dragon is setting that part of the world on fire, literally, because he is the master of fire. So he does catch people on fire as well as
So
blow
tell
mist.
me what you thought about that.
Yeah.
I hate seeing those.
But it's crazy of how successful he is, and he deserves it.
Bust his butt, man. He had a gimmick that did not work and come up with Zombie
Right.
Dragon and been
Absolutely.
killing it ever since.
Absolutely. So super cool about that. But that's what we've done. Now you've brought some wrestling figures. Like to check those out as well as we wrap this episode of Ego and Breakup. May 18th, that's next Saturday, this Saturday, or yesterday, depending on when you watch this. May 18th, 6th Path to Pride event. Tradition continues, headlined by a double main event. Ray Fury wrestles for the federated title. He takes on Chance Allred, and JD Jenkins defends his Pride title against John Davis. Man, is this going to be a phenomenal event. A lot of great wrestling in Mississippi this weekend.
Yep.
If you're not at a show, shame on you, because you will not be watching wrestling or watch wrestling, as our tagline says. But you've got some figures. You want to do the honors? Pull them out. You want me to pull them out? How do you want to do this?
Okay.
So where did you get these at?
Again, the mom's trash bin.
Okay. So it's like a consignment type sale?
Yeah, and these, multiple people had different wrestlers. Now, this one, my buddy I work with, he gave it to me, but it's a Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Nice. That is a Brutus Beefcake, LJN, has 1985 right there on the derriere. Looks to be in really good shape. Yep. Missing a little paint, but overall for a 1985 figure, there's old Brutus the Elfin Barber Beefcake. So very cool.
I just realized something on the bottom of the boot there. I'd never saw it before. That needs to be a little cleaned up, but I hadn't looked at it.
Got the Junkyard Dog. This is 1984 LJN.
It's got a little more wear and tear.
So yeah, a little more wear and tear, but does have a cool symbol right there. Let's see if we can get that to focus in. It looks like a
weird version of a bulldog.
Yeah, I think that's very similar to what it's supposed to be. Yeah, some type of bulldog. And I thought that was the Playboy bunny on the inside of his leg, but it's just a scratch.
Yeah, just a scratch.
Old JYD might have been a Playboy of sorts. Very cool figure. As we know, we have a JYD in this neck of the woods.
Yep.
And so it's cool to see the tradition live on. So very cool. And then we have LJN Wrestling Buddies. We've got Hulk Hogan and his sidekick Hillbilly Jim. So
they go in your thumbs.
Yeah, let me have Hulk Hogan and let's see who wins. Let's give a little demonstration.
So
yeah, well, Hogan left the building by count out, which would probably be a real finish in a Hulk Hogan match if you were beating him, because you're not going to pin him, brother, but I'll let you win by count out.
But it was Titan Sports Inc. in 1985 when these were made.
Yes, so awesome. So they're just basically hollowed out miniature versions of the LJN
in all
characters.
honesty, if you look at the detail, it's pretty good for back then.
Yeah,
hell, it's
no
not
doubt.
really good, to be honest.
No doubt. I dig them.
Hogan's headband's a little bit wear and tear, but we found those, and I was like, this is too awesome not to get.
Yeah, no, I dig it. So it's a really cool concept with thumb wrestling. So I dig it. But again, guys, Path to Pride takes place this Saturday, May 18th. Pearl, Mississippi. Hope to see all of you out. And until next episode,
watch wrestling.
Watch wrestling.